My name is Bebe Thomas. I'm a 3L this year. I am not a native Houstonian. So my husband is a native Houstonian. I'm originally from the West Coast. This is my first time living in the center of the United States and in the South, and I absolutely love it. You could not pry me away from Houston. So I worked in clinical trials before this, managing large pharmaceutical trials in the immuno-oncology space. And it is an extremely highly regulated industry. Like we are dealing with FDA, GDPR, HIPAA. And so I really gained an interest in health law. And I sat on that for over 10 years. And I just decided just prior to the pandemic to apply to law school. And I was admitted to UH and went to Admitted Students Day was the month before everything shut down for COVID. And I met Dean Baines there, and just speaking to him, I was like, I want to go to UH. I mean, already it's a top 10 school for health law, but just the personalities of the staff, meeting the teachers, getting to talk to them just really seemed like they cared about the students. They were interested in what you were interested in and in your development. And so it was an easy choice for me. So I just finished my first semester of 3L and I am going into my last semester. So that feels really good. I was very fortunate. My 1L year, I went to clerk at a law firm, Chicardi Bacon, and loved it. They do a lot of work in the pharmaceutical medical device space, lots of product liability. And so I returned my 2L year and have an offer. So I am going there next year. And it's just nice because since law is my second career, what I was worried about is that, wow, I have all this experience in pharmaceutical and medical device. Am I going to be able to use it, or is it going to, just kind of dissipate and go away? And thankfully, going to a firm like this, like all of that experience and knowledge, I will be able to use and apply in working with the partners and working with the clients. And so it just all fit together quite well. So for me, the most rewarding thing is working on the Houston Journal of Health Law and Policy. One, I come from a background where I'm used to working in a team environment. And so it gave me the opportunity again to work with a dynamic team of incredibly smart people. And so as editor in chief, I have my hand in just about everything. And that has been for me the most rewarding thing and has kept me going. Even from my candidate year and learning how to write a scholarly article and refining your writing, getting all the amazing feedback from the writers and editors on the team. It For me, that's an experience I could never ever have anywhere else. So for me, my favorite thing about UHLC is the people. Hands down, the teachers that I've had, mentorships that I've had from teachers, from students, my friends on the journal, my friends just from being in the same section together, and trauma bonding sometimes. Yeah, the people make the place, and I think the leadership makes the place. And so, like I said, just Dean Baines, Dean Mensa, like these are people where I've had to reach out, ask questions to, or I need something, and I've always just been met with responsiveness and just a willingness to, like, okay, let me understand what you're asking for, and then let's see how we can make this happen. And it's just been really nice. And even with our teachers, I've had several professors come to journal meetings to talk about different resources for students or reach out to me and ask, hey, are you seeing this? This is what I'm seeing. Do you think, making XYZ change would be helpful? So it's a very collaborative environment. So, in our journal offices, we have recliner chairs. And they are a major hit, and I love them. And so, I would have to say two things. When I need to be like around people, I go to Lynn's Landing. But when I need to be like quiet, reading, solitude, or just among like the people I'm closest to, I go to the journal offices. I think the one thing incoming students don't know is that your first semester of 1L is everything. So, thankfully, I spoke to several law students before I entered law school, and it's so true. Do everything you can to do well your first semester because just tell everyone in your life they won't see you, but very rarely you have to hunker down, you have to study, start preparing for finals as early as possible. Do not delay because those grades matter and they are what gets you into a law firm early your 1L year. And there are people who don't do that and, maybe don't get the grades they want and they still do well. I'm just saying, like, if you want to set yourself up for the best case scenario where you don't have to fight back to get your GPA up, kill yourself 1L semester. So, the second thing I would say, other than studying, is no man or woman is an island. And even during COVID, I would have outside study groups for semester of 1L with, I would just invite people. So, I think that like in undergrad, I never did group study, but I would say consider forming those connections, see who works and studies similar to you or whose personality you mesh with, and form those connections, get those study groups in line. Like, even if you just have accountability partners, it's so much more helpful in law school when you connect with people and you're just not on your own because that's where you get class advice for the future. That's where you look at how someone's outlining and see, oh, this is how I could do that better. Or like maybe your strength is writing, but your friend's strength is multiple choice. So it's like, I have learned to do multiple choice from just being around people who are strong in that. Like, I'm a writer, I can write all day long. Please give me an essay exam. But, strengths and weaknesses, you can never be strong at everything. So, like, make those connections so that you can learn from other students and other people. And guess what? Those people are going to be people you may work with in the future. Like, one person from my study group is coming to my law firm with me. So we'll be working together. So I would just say, no one is an island. Reach out. And if you get in a situation where you are stressed out or having heart palpitations because it's your first finals coming up, reach out. And if you don't have that friend, the teachers are super helpful too. I remember one of my first finals, I had to call one of my professors and say, Professor, like, I'm nervous. I know I can do this. And she just coached me through it and was wonderful. So